Power 92. We are #1 in the streets.
All right, your midday girlfriend, Money Mayha. I'm here with my radio sister.
We outside. What's up? 290 Queen Bree Specific.
And guys, you already know, obviously, we're from Chicago, but we got another Chicagoan in the building.
Chicago.
Okay, President and CEO of Sovereign Brands, Brad Berish.
We outside.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
awesome
joining
to be
us.
here. Awesome to be in Chicago, and sitting between two beautiful ladies. What can I say?
Period.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate
What
it.
brings you back to Chicago right now?
Business, family. My parents are here. My brothers are here. This is home.
I love
This
it.
is home. So I'm having my chance to hang out and work at the same time and play with my kids. All my kids are here. Everyone's here right now. So
Okay,
I'm loving
cool.
it. I'm loving
So
it.
you flip-flop from Florida and Chicago, or do you mainly stay in Chicago and just visit here? How does it work?
It's supposed to be half and half, but
Okay.
I have to admit Florida's pretty nice.
I bet.
Yeah, the weather's really nice.
I bet.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
there's energy here. You
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. So
What certain things do you miss when you leave?
here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I hear there is no other food like Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every time everyone goes somewhere else, they're always like, but we miss the food.
But
We
Florida
miss the
has good
food."
seafood.
no. Well, in Florida's picking up too because everyone's moving there. So now there are more and more and more restaurants. You know, more East Coast restaurants are coming down. So if they've got a branch in New York, they got a branch down in Florida.
Okay.
But I've been saying it since I was a little kid. Like Chicago is the best because it's that combination of if you don't like the West Coast, you don't like the East Coast. The Midwest is perfect,
It
and
makes
there's
sense.
nothing better than Chicago.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
this is home.
I do have to ask you, what side of Chicago are you from?
I'm the north suburbs.
Okay.
The north
Okay.
suburbs. I grew up in the north suburbs.
Okay, so you closer to the west side. than the
Oh
south
my
side,
goodness.
So I can
Yes.
rock with you.
Craig, we're supposed to break the ice with a shot.
All right,
Oh, we're
I'm
supposed
in.
to
We're
play
playing a game.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
She suggested Never Have I Ever.
I did. I feel like I was thinking of like shot games.
All
Have you
right.
ever played Never Have I Ever?
You're gonna teach me.
Okay, so you basically have to say something that you've never done, and whoever at the table has done it has to take a shot.
All right.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Actually, Mayha go first.
Okay. I wrote it down. Okay, so never have I ever accidentally sent nudes to the wrong person.
I've never done it.
Or
I've
even
never done it.
accidentally never?
Never.
Okay.
That was an
You've
easy.
done it. Okay.
I'm gonna take a sip because we have another one.
Okay.
Okay.
Never have I ever joined the Mile High Club.
No, I haven't done it.
I feel like
Me
we
either.
have to knock
I haven't
that
done
out
it.
before we die.
I haven't done it.
You gotta find somebody to knock it out with. That's the problem.
Well, usually it's like you meet somebody on the plane too.
True. But then the bathrooms are. Do you know what the Mile High Club is?
Yeah, but
Okay,
no.
Airplane bathrooms are small.
Yeah,
Does
they're
it not sound
gross.
exciting?
I
You
don't
have to
know.
knock it out as soon as you get on
I
the
think
plane.
you should do it in the seat.
Just in front of everybody.
That's savage, and
okay.
I like
Live your
it.
best life. Y'all heard what happened to designer.
What's yours?
Yourself.
Never have I ever? It's a good one.
I was just about to drink it.
Never have I ever forgot my spouse's girlfriend, husband, boyfriend's our anniversary. Yeah, I have to drink.
For sure.
I don't even know how
100%.
old my mama is sometimes, so
I'm gonna need
I can't
you to
remember.
know.
I'm tired. Like dates make my head hurt. Remembering different dates, it really makes my head hurt.
Yeah. I have 6 kids. I can't remember the birthdays.
You have 6 kids?
Yeah, can't remember the
Wow.
It's a
birthdays.
lot of birthdays to remember.
It
so
is.
I don't blame you.
It is. I shouldn't have to.
No, you should. You shouldn't. But also, I mean, that's why we have calendar.
Yeah, someone to remind
apps.
us.
Yeah.
Well, you have obviously so many brands behind your name. I feel like you wear a lot of hats. I was watching a couple of interviews, before we got here, and I just really want to say congratulations because I don't know, this Chicago connection for me, I just feel like we know what this city is like, and we know what it's like to make it up out of here. We know what it's like to try to break into our respective industries. So I have to congratulate you first and foremost.
Oh, thank you.
For sure,
Very kind.
100%.
Very kind.
So before we get into Sovereign Brands, like I just want to know more about you. I'm sure she does too.
For sure.
Our viewers, because this is the first time we've sat down. Now I know you've been to the radio station
Yes.
we work at.
Yes.
But I never got
I got
to
trash
meet
at
you.
the station, by the way.
You did?
Yes, we all did.
Yeah.
As you should. As you should. So, I mean, where did this dream come from? I feel like when I was younger, I was like, when I grow up, I want to be a astronaut. I don't
Yeah.
know. So, like, how did you know that this is what you wanted to do? I mean,
So I think there's two versions of me. One is I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So, and I always tell people, I think there's those who know what they want to do, they're lucky as fuck.
No, for sure.
It's the luckiest thing in the world because you know what you want to do and you want to go at it. And then I think for me, I'm the one who had tons of ideas, never picked one.
okay.
So therefore I'm just lost for years and just never, and I was always afraid, what if I pick this and it's the wrong idea? Now am I wasting my time? So I had that going on until my mid 30s. And then the other was, the reason I chose this industry is my dad was in this business. He spent 45 years at the same company in
Oh,
the
wow.
liquor business. If you came to our house and had dinner at our house, all he would talk about is liquor business. So we grew up in it. My brothers and I grew up in it. And I just loved it. I love brands. I love the idea of brands. And finally one day, I don't know why it happened. One day I just said, screw it. I gotta focus. I gotta pick something. I had an idea for a liquor and I said, I'm gonna go do this. And that was the beginning of what this has become.
Because mid-30s, like, to me, that's kind of scary to not know what
Yeah,
you're going
it
to
sucked. It sucked because it's horrifying because in some ways you feel like you're letting everybody down.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything yet. Like nothing of substance, nothing of value, nothing where you can tell all your friends, your high school friends, your college friends, like, look what I'm doing.
So what were you doing at that point?
I started out in banking in New York. I quit my job to open a retail store with a friend of mine, and he backed out. And then I got cold feet, and I ended up moving to Taiwan to study Chinese.
Wow.
Completely lost, no
Okay.
idea why. And I spent 5 years in Asia, and then came back to the U.S.
That's
and,
a long time.
Yeah, and but I was lost. To this day, I don't know why I did it, but it's. I don't want. I'm not going to say it like it made me who I am. It sucked. Because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. There's something liberating. If you just, doesn't matter what it is, just pick it. Pick something. I was talking to, last night I had an interview with, he's an artist named All-Star JR. And just by talking to him, I said, I was going to ask him, what would you be doing if you weren't doing singing? And I was about to ask him that, but just listening to him, I realized, and I said to him, I feel like you'd be good at anything.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like I would be good at anything. I just had to pick something. And that's the hardest part of life sometimes, is just picking something.
Yeah. And then it's like you said that you were kind of torn between a few different things. So when you chose this one thing, does the itch for those other things appear?
So it's a great question. My concern was always, I'm not going to have any other ideas again. But it's just not
Clearly,
true.
that's a lie.
No, but it wasn't even, I'm not going to have any more ideas in the liquor space. I'm not going to have, I'd have lots of ideas,
Yeah.
opening this business, trying this, doing that. And I thought I wouldn't have any more. But what happened was, it never went away. I just loved what I was currently doing.
Yeah.
So nothing else mattered anymore. I didn't have to go and do something else. I could just keep doing this. And I like this.
What was that feeling when you started to build your own brand, and like when was that moment where you were like, okay, this is the it that I've been waiting for all this time?
There was a couple times in my life where I can say, one was just doing this business. That was the first big one. I don't know why it happened, where I just said, screw it, I'm gonna do it. And I don't know, I just had enough of my own BS. If that makes sense.
No, I feel it.
The second one was
sick and tired of my own
Okay,
shit.
me too.
the second one was, and again, I hear this a lot from people, is that sometimes the key to life is realizing that no one really is going to help you. You have to
Do it.
You have to do it yourself. You gotta let it go. You gotta stop waiting for other people, relying on other people. And that, now I started the business, I'm a few years into the business, and it's not going well. And part of it is I'm just waiting for other people who said they would help,
And,
but
yeah.
no one does. And I just had to let that go and just say I can do it. I got to do it myself. I got to go make it happen. It's like what Nipsey said to me is, you got to pop your trunk, Brett. You got to go to the corner, pop your trunk, sell your goods, and do anything you can to make yourself successful.
Figure it out.
That's what I had to do, and that's what I did.
That's a scary, lonely place sometimes, I feel like.
But because when like a creative space, we kind of get into that space a lot.
I think something develops from that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's also I'm also one that everything I've done is based on past mistakes. So I have to go through these exercises.
You have to learn, yeah.
You have to. So it's a mistake to trust other people, to rely on other people. Okay, I got to go do it myself. It's a mistake thinking that somebody's going to tell me what to do one day. Go focus on this, Brett. No, I got to do it myself. It's a mistake when Bel Air, but when Bel Air came out, when that black bottle came out, that was our first one. Everybody in my industry had said, Brett, it's going to do nothing. You're crazy. One, you're launching rosé first, and you can't do that. You got to launch a brut, which is that's what the gold one is.
Why couldn't you launch rosé first?
Because in the champagne category, not to bore you.
No, I think
but
I'm
brut.
Probably
So
common.
this bottle, brut,
Right.
is your brut. This is a traditional champagne style. This is 90% of the category. And you launch your brut first, and that's your biggest, always going to be your biggest cuvee or style. And then you come back with a rosé or a blanc de blanc or a demi-sec, different styles that are smaller. I wanted to do rosé first. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be a name in the rosé category first. And then I put it in a black bottle, and they said, you're nuts because you can't put it in a black bottle. You can't see the liquid. And then we were competing against Moet and Veuve, which are the big brands in the category, and you're never going to make it. And the younger Brett, when I first started this business, would have listened and changed everything. I would have not done rosé. I would have not put it in a black bottle. But I finally had to realize, again, by making mistakes, trust your instincts, Brett. You got into this business for a reason. If anybody's going to screw it up, it should be you.
That way you can be
Huge
mad at
success.
yourself.
For sure.
Huge success.
I mean, during those years, I guess that you said the company wasn't doing too well in the beginning. How did you not give up? How did you stay motivated? How did you want to keep going when you weren't seeing the results that you wanted?
I think it's a great question. I think it's a bunch of things. I think it's one is being naive. And sometimes being naive is a good thing because I equate being naive and fearless as the same thing.
Okay.
They both have the same meaning. So I think it's a little bit naive, a little bit fearless, and a little bit, I'm going to be horrified if I fail. If I have to tell everybody this doesn't work, that just sucks.
Absolutely.
It's fear of failure. It's just complete fear. So for me, it was all those things combined, and my mom, having one person. You got to have people in your corner. I always ask people, who was in your corner day one? Who supported you? Who was there? I can honestly, it's my mother. She has been there. She's my rock. She's my supporter. She's 91 years old. I'd have her.
Okay, Mom.
I love that for her.
I'd have her.
Yes.
I give her, this is before the internet. I mean, before social media, the internet. I give her print out pages of the phone book to have her call liquor stores and ask for Ace of Spades, just to let the retailers hear the name. She called thousands.
I love that.
But she was there. And everybody needs somebody.
That's a great marketing tactic too, might I add.
You got to do anything.
Because of what?
You
I
got to do
never thought of
anything.
that.
You got to do anything. You got to do anything to get it out, to be able to sell it. You got to, as Ross says, you got to get in the mud. You got to get in the mud.
Got to get in the mud. You had your mom's support and have your mom's support, but your dad was the one who was in the liquor business. So how was he receptive when you were like, Dad, I think I want to do this?
Yes, and the answer is yes and no. I think, and as I get older, and I keep thinking about this one, my love for this industry is all because of him. I love it. He's an emotional guy who, when he talks about brands and liquor, and it's all consuming, not in a bad way. So I owe him all of that. I think for him it was a love-hate, and I think the hate of us getting into it was, if it doesn't work for them, is it his fault? You know what I mean?
I feel that 100%. Yeah.
You know, so I
Because
think
you watched me do it, and now
correct.
you're inspired.
Maybe if you're not successful, I don't want to be blamed for it.
For sure.
So I think that goes with it, and I get it. I could understand that. And I think also it was for him, and I think any parent, I'm the same way. You want life to be easier for your kids. So as much as he loved it, he hated it too, you know, and you want your kids to do something easier.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, hopefully it's easier.
I feel like if I ever had kids and they got bit by the radio bug, I'd be like, get out.
No,
Get out.
don't
You
do
don't
it.
know what you're getting yourself into.
But I think that's where I say all industries are like that.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing
Yeah,
it.
you're
If
right.
it was easy, there's no such thing as easy.
And I
There's
think
nothing.
that's the important part too is, you know, with our jobs, like everything looks so fun, exciting, glamorous.
But it's a lot of hard work.
Oh,
It's a lot behind it.
Okay, no sleep.
Yeah.
Just
Being
I mean,
out,
the pressure.
events.
Yep.
never
yeah.
sleeping.
I would not want this for my kids. No.
but then you have those days. We're pretty successful, but I have bad days all the time.
For sure.
The key, and I have to remind myself, the key is to have 51% good and 49% bad, and you're on
Yeah.
your way.
Yeah.
Last week was a fantastic week, and it made everything better for me. You know, you got to have that in your life. Hopefully, it does.
What does a bad day look like for you?
If I don't feel like I'm accomplishing something, if I don't feel like I'm moving the ball forward. Last week, so just as an example, there's an artist, I'm really into AfroBeats right now.
Okay, yeah.
And there's an artist out of Cameroon called Chaco, and he put out a song called Self-Made, which is really cool.
the
And
name of the
A
series.
connection.
yeah, he did it on his own, and there's a hook in it called Bel Air, and the song is going viral right now in Africa. And I called Ross and I said, Ross, you got to help support this guy. He has just done us a huge solid. Let's give him some love back. Ross gets on Instagram Live with him. Now the song is blowing up even
Wow.
further. And then we put some money behind a challenge for him because he's got a dance challenge going on. But it just felt like we're helping him. He's blowing up. He's getting big. We're moving the ball forward. Like if you can make those calls, it's a cool feeling. Like to make everyone's excited. Like everything's moving forward.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Especially when
That-
you see the aftermath of you just making a phone call.
Correct.
Now his song is like going
correct,
crazy.
100%.
Yeah, let's talk about your connection with hip hop because I remember, I think I was like an intern probably at the station the last time you came to our station, and I think you were supporting G Herbo at the time, and a couple other, I think Stunt Taylor and a couple other Chicago artists, which I thought was so dope because I had never seen a brand support artists in that way. Like I've never seen like an owner of a brand come out and say, "Hey, I physically want to support you guys." So, how important is that connection with the Bel Air brands and hip hop?
Huge. I love hip hop. I probably like the artists more than I love hip hop. No, because they have a story.
Always.
They're an individual. It's one person. There's a struggle. Every one of them's got a struggle that there's another side to the story that they need to tell, because you look at them and you think they're successful. You know, they've always been, but they're not. I think it's important to me, especially as we get bigger, because it allows me to hopefully shine a light on people where we can add a little bit more value to them in some way or another. And especially if I use Chaco as an example, or G Herbo, if they were supporting our brands, God, I should be supporting them right back. So how can I work with them? What can I do? And for me, G Herbo as an example, he wasn't that big when we started.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't that big.
Yeah.
Post Malone was he was one of our first brand ambassadors on Bel Air. He had White Iverson was the first song. That's it. So it's neat to get behind people early too. You can have the Rick Rosses and the Lil Waynes and the Khaled's, but it's even more fun to try to find people that are young and up and coming, and wow, they're now huge. But it's important from my perspective, and it's just as important that I have a real relationship with them. It's not a transaction, as I always say. It's not I'm partnering with Herbo and I never talk to him. You know, I know him first, and then we do something together.
I think that's so important because I remember thinking like, you know, when you were doing your media run back when you came to Power 92 and even like today, I'm just like, he interviews and sits with so many people. And I just think that's so important to rub elbows, I guess, with people and not just, you know, you're a brand ambassador, here's your package, here's your PR
shipping on
package.
packages.
You can't. You
but
gotta.
it happens
You
all
gotta.
the time.
You gotta. You have to. I don't want to be. You called me CEO and president. I guess that's a title.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to be that. I think I'm the most important person in the company, and as the most important person, I want to meet and know everybody.
That's so special.
I think
It really is.
I think I can add value, and I want to know the people who are supporting the brands.
Yeah.
I think it's critical because you're making the brands. You're helping me do something, so I should be the first one in line to say thank you.
I really appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
fun.
When you're picking, you know, your ambassadors like Ross and Wiz and Rhapsody, and what are you looking for when you're choosing ambassadors? What do they have to meet for you?
It's not numbers. It's not how many followers. It's not about, you know, are they trending? Is their songs hot? It's a real connection relationship. That's it. That's at the end of the day. That's it. When we started working with Wayne, and people would rip on, what, you're nuts. Why are you working? He hasn't put an album out in 10 years.
He's Wayne.
He's a
though.
little Wayne.
No, but you imagine how many people are like, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. Remember, people are haters, you know. They're gonna cut you out quickly.
For sure.
But Wayne was a supporter, and if he's a fan and we have a great relationship, let's do something. I think it's a combination of I want to like them, I want to know them. It's the energy they bring, and it's someone like Ross or Wayne or any of these guys. They're picking up the phone and calling me. They're not waiting for me to call them.
Cool.
They've got an idea. They're going to share it with me. They're excited. There's something they want to do. There's something they want to get out there. They're not waiting, and I think that's the key. And a lot of celebrities, I'm not even going to say in the music space, just celebrities in general, they're waiting for the call.
Yeah.
They're waiting for someone to call them and say, I want to work with you. No, do the opposite. If you like something, go to, I like you. I like your brand. What can I do with you? How can I work with you? That's what I want.
And I like the longevity with your brands and celebrities too. Like, it's never like, oh, I'm just doing this one campaign. It's like, we get to grow with the artists as they're still supporting the brand.
That's the whole goal. But like everything in life, it's a relationship. You know, you gotta put in too, right?
For sure.
So if for whatever reason we're not working with them anymore, we do it, but the other side's gotta come together too. You know, so my goal is like any relationship. You know, it's supposed to get better over time. It's not supposed to end. And that's the goal.
Well, do you want to talk about the babies?
I was about to say, let's
Lots
get
of
into this liquor.
I'm familiar with somebody who she has a wine company, and you know she shows a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and you know she's still very much in the beginning of it, and so I'm over here thinking like, do you get your hands dirty? Like, are you back there? Let's try hibiscus berry. Like, what is your role as far as creating these?
Yeah, I drink what I sell.
Thank you.
There's only a couple of us involved in drinking, but that's the beauty. Someone told me, I said this before, so I'll say it now. Consensus doesn't make good decision making.
Okay.
You don't need a lot of people. So there's a few of us. If you stop by my office or my house, I'd taste you on some of the new stuff. So today I was in the Chicago office tasting some new things. So
we gotta try that one day.
We're heavily involved in everything we create. There's no lab there, meaning we're not asking what's the hot thing today.
Okay.
We're not doing that. So when I went and saw you, probably at the station, we had just, I think, launched maybe Bamboo even.
Yeah.
5 years, whatever that was. No, everyone told us in my industry, don't do rum. It's not growing. It's not a thing. Now this rum is the number one premium rum in the world.
Yes.
But it's based on that taste profile. Everybody loves the taste, and we wanted a specific taste. So everything is built on, we drink the category first, we get familiar with it, we go after one big competitor we want to be better tasting than, and we start to think about what do we want it to taste like? What's going to taste better? And that's the goal.
Makes sense.
I
Yeah.
love the inclusivity of it all. It's like you guys dibble and dab with a little bit of everything.
It's, yeah, and we're not, and I think we continue to own who we are. So the goal isn't, like we have a brand that has the branding's done. We don't have any liquid. Because the liquid we've come up with isn't good enough yet.
That's kind
So
of funny.
I don't want to launch it.
I got the bottle done and everything, but
But
the
if it's
liquor isn't there.
if it's not, if I can't look you guys in the eye and say this is the best, this is better than anything else in the category. If you like Casa Azul or Casa Dragones, no, you're gonna love this. This is
Period.
better. It has to be better. It's like I think it's like an artist putting on the music. He doesn't like it. Why put it out?
For sure.
That's true.
For sure. For sure.
Okay, so who's on the testing
Oh,
team?
Lord.
And then say 7 out of say that 7 people. Say that 2 don't like it, but the rest are going.
Good question. We'll get to the majority, if not everybody. That's
Okay.
the goal. That's the goal. Everybody needs to, and it's only, it could be up to 7, and then I'll get my wife or I'll get my nanny to taste things like that, and I will. But you know you have it when everyone likes it.
Yeah.
How do we
That's
get
what
on
it
the
is.
testing team?
Just
because
yes,
come over.
I would love.
Just come and taste.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're doing a tasting. Tomorrow
Really?
tomorrow afternoon we're doing a
Okay,
tasting.
I will be outside. I'm
Damn, I'm
coming.
gonna be.
We got all sorts of, but
I'm
like
thinking
these,
about you guys.
if you taste, this is bamboo cream. So this is
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
bamboo. This is bamboo cream. If you tasted this against any other cream-based products, you're gonna be like, this is ridiculous. This is so much better. It's got more body. It's got more character. It's got different notes. Everything else is very monotone. One flavor. This has everything.
Yeah, love it. We definitely had a couple shots before you got here of the green.
Yeah, no, this is definitely my favorite concoction right now, but that's because I haven't tried anything else.
No. This one you can skip dinner. Just drink.
Okay.
I plan on continuing for
Is
sure.
this the Deacon?
Deacon we
Deacon.
tried just a second ago too.
I love the smoke.
So
That's
this,
what it is. I really feel like I'm sitting at a bonfire.
This is the newest one. This is the Deacon. It's so cool. It's
It really is.
Even the bottle is like
all our
fire.
brands have stories. So even if you don't care, it matters to me. The copper bottle matches the copper pot stills in Scotland. The Deacon, literally the name means in Scotland, if you're the best at what you do, if you're the best radio personality, if you're the best mechanic, if you're the best economist,
I'm the deacon.
you're the
Okay,
Deacon.
big
It's a
Deacon.
title.
Not the
I'm
little
a
one.
deacon, baby.
There's a white X in the background. That's the Scottish flag. This
Okay.
character on it feels like, to me, Burning
He's-
Man or Mad Max or
Definitely.
steampunk. And back in the days, this was a mask that the plague doctors wore to protect themselves, and they would inhale alcohol as their protector. So it's an ode to that. Everything has story.
How long did it take you before you finally got the right ingredients for this? From creation to, I guess, 'cause
Probably
this is the
4
newest-
years. 4 years.
You've been working on this for 4 years?
Yeah.
Is that a long time? Like in liquor sense? Like
Yes, because most companies, they see a hot category. I got to get a brand. I got to get a brand. I got to put something in it. I got to go take advantage of it. For me, there's blood, sweat, and tears in these brands. So it has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
Everything has to be perfect. It has to speak.
Okay, so who's the oldest and who's the youngest? So the oldest is.
Bel Air's the oldest now. Well,
Okay.
so my past brands, Ace of Spades.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Doucet, and then Bel Air's the oldest, and then Bamboo, and then McQueen, and McQueen's got a line extension, which is this one called Ultraviolet Edition,
Okay.
and then Vion, which is brand newish, and then the Deacon, all in different categories.
Okay.
I want to try that McQueen. Look at you.
I know,
touching
this
it.
is like,
I
this
really
is one of,
wanna-
ooh,
Look,
see,
I just
that's
said
a
it.
Shout out to Ryan.
Here we go.
I
Here.
can't imagine like letting my babies go. So was it like how hard was it for you to let go of Ace of Spades and Douce?
The Ace was the.
These are big shots.
These are
Huge.
beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
So pretty.
So
Purple's my favorite
So
color.
this is Ultra McQueen Ultraviolet Edition. It's
It's a gin, right?
It's a gin, hibiscus and berries, and
smell
the
it.
color is gorgeous. And if you mix it with tonic or citrus, it changes colors. It's beautiful. But to answer your question,
Oh yeah.
well, we can drink first.
Okay.
Let's drink.
Let's try this real quick. I'm
doing
so
shots?
thirsty.
We
We
Well,
can
no,
sip,
I'm gonna
not
sip
the whole
because
thing. We got some more
I
questions.
drove.
Oh,
This is literally the best gin I've ever tasted.
Yep.
Like, I don't think I've ever drank gin straight after my first time trying gin
That's
straight.
right. This is straight.
Like
Wow.
you taste it. It tastes like flowers.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like I can really appreciate liquor where I don't have to feel like I got to take a
Yeah.
chaser.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or mix it.
So that's
at
where
all.
I'm at
And
with
if
it.
you mix it, you can do gin and tonic, you could do gin and juice, you can do anything, and it'll taste even better.
I love it.
So to answer you, Ace, it's like selling a child.
Right.
It's the most difficult, heart-wrenching thing you could possibly do. I did it because it allowed me to do everything that's at this table.
Okay.
So I made my bed, and my bed was I didn't have the money to launch other brands. I didn't raise outside money, and because I didn't want to, and it was a way to do more. There's a saying: you cut off your arm, and now you're stronger, and that's what it was.